Hi guys, it's James Select 44 here, and today we are back with a career mode video. We're here in Austria. We're gonna get straight into qualifying as we have already done the practice programs and it went well. We got some decent R&D points, but we're heading into qualifying now, so I'll see you in the garage.
Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon where qualifying is about to start here in Austria. So sit back and enjoy the afternoon session. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
Okay, so we're into qualifying one. My idea for this session is we're going to see what pace we have on the super soft tyres to see if we can get through on the slower tyres, just to save a set of ultras, just in case. So we're just going to head into the tablet now and check in getting our tyres and set up correct, and we should be going out now onto the track very soon. So we're leaving now to go onto the track and set our super softs to set almost like a banker lap time, but I want to see if we can get through on these set as well. So coming to the end of lap, we did the first lap but we carried on for a second lap on the super soft tyres just to see if we can get through on them. At the minute we're in P9 and hopefully this lap is a little bit better. We looks like we moved into P8 still, but we did improve just a little bit, so decent. But let's carry on, and we actually had to go onto the ultra softs near the end because we dropped down to P18. So we're going to put a lap in on a set of fresh ultra softs, sorry, to see if we can get a bit higher, and we end up start the lap. So heading into turn 1, you want to clip the curb and you want to get on, not too much on the exit curb but a little bit, so you can carry the speed onto the straight. Coming into the middle set there, I usually struggle in this set there. I think my setup wasn't great for these high speed turns, but nevertheless we're up on our time by about 3 attempts, nearly 4 attempts now. Coming to the end of the session, there's 19 seconds left, and this is hopefully a lap that will get us well into the places we need to get through into Q2, which it does. We got P9 and I'm quite happy with that lap. I'm disappointed that we couldn't get through in the super softs, but it's not the end of the world. So as you can see, we finished P9, Max Verstappen on top, from Kimi Räikkönen down Ricciardo the top 3, Hamilton the championship leader in P4. Heading into Q2, we're going to go for 1 lap time on a set of ultras because these are the tyres that we'll be starting our race on. So hopefully we can make no mistakes and this lap will get us into Q3. So coming to the tricky braking zone. Very easy to get this corner wrong, but no such problems here. Back into the high speed corners now of the left. This lap was probably the best lap that I got. Really stuck there for the whole of qualifying. It felt like I nailed this part of the track. Heading to the end of the lap and we go P2, which is a decent lap, as we'll be down to P3, now P4, because Rosberg and Verstappen set quicker times, but I'm happy with that time, and hopefully that will get us into Q3. As you can see, we finished P8 and now we're into Q3. We're going to go for 1 lap at the end on a set of ultras because we had to use a set in Q1, but starting our lap we're going to have I think we're going to do 2 laps. I think we've got time for 2 laps, but heading down into turn 1, again clipping the curb, taking a little bit of exit curb but not too much, so we get the best exit down the straight, so we can carry as much speed as we can into the tricky braking zone, into this right hander. again. I just missed apex. Really want to click it. Open DRS up early as we cut to the fast right-hander, which is quite long. Gotta be careful sometimes with track limits in these last few corners, because you can run wide and get your lap taken away from you. But that lap goes P8. But we're gonna go for a second lap, I believe, and then cut in again back to the last corner. We're out of fuel, but we just make it to the line and we improved by 2.5 tenths, and I believe that's P5, P6, so not too bad. We got P6 and I'm quite happy with that actually. But yeah, P6, but oh, Max Verstappen's got a 5 place grid penalty, so that will move us up into P5. So our goal for the race is to finish 9th and obviously beat Kevin Magnussen. So we're gonna head off now to the race, and I will see you on the grid for the race.
Austria, traditional home of many great things. Apple Street, Mozart, Niki Lauda, and of course, one of the finest high-speed racetracks on the planet. We're right in the thick of the season now, and the championship battle is on tonight. And if there's any race that stands to remember the formula, it's this one. Meters above sea level. This tough circuit may only have 9 corners, but they're fast and they're bumpy. It's a true test for any racing driver. We have 2 DRS zones, and watch out for overtakes into turn 2, as the uphill entry helps what's trying to be the last of the late breakers steam up the inside. Anthony Davidson joins me to talk us through the action here today at what is quite an unusual racetrack, wouldn't you say, Ant?
It's quite a layout around here. The thing about Austria is it's a hard circuit to master. It really is though. On top of that, it's a long surface, and when people small mistakes, they're being punished. And it's very easy to slide right into the off area and lose a huge chunk of time. Luckily, because it's such a strong circuit, we have plenty of opportunities to defend.
Excellent job yesterday. We qualified above expectations. Let's go out there and put in a performance.
Okay, so I'm on the grid. We're gonna go for the 2-shot strategy. I'm just gonna put a bit more fuel in the car. I've noticed that this car is quite bad in its fuel, even though we have got a few upgrades on the fuel consumption. But we're gonna go with the 2-stop for this race, and hopefully we can stay quite high up. Hopefully finish in P4 where we started, but getting away from the formation lap. Just gonna get the tyres and brakes up to temperature, so we can get the best start that we can. Hopefully we don't get into any accidents at the start, but as we near the front it should be alright as we head down the pit straight, not the pit straight, sorry, down the straight for the formation lap. So according to the start, we're on 3 lights, 4, now 5. And like to hold for a long time, and we get away for the Australian GP. A decent start, as you can see. The whole pack are really getting away quite evenly. We've got the Ferrari on our outside. We kind of go over the curb to try and avoid the Ferrari. Now cutting back on board. Side of us is Mercedes. We've got Ricardo in front of us, is kind of blocking off. We move round to the inside, which should give us the best opportunity to get past these guys to the corner. We give them space, we throw our hand up in frustration, maybe a little bit of contact, but that looks like we've moved up into P2 with Rosberg getting away. I think Rosberg will probably just run away with this race now, to be fair. The practice pace on the race was decent, but it wasn't as quick as the guys that around, so I was shocked with the qualifying performance, to be fair. Didn't think we'd be starting this up, so it's going to be a challenge to keep these guys behind. Hopefully, if we don't finish P2, we'll at least finish P4 where we started. So coming to the end of lap 1, and I'm happy with that. Happy with the start, as Ricardo is got the slipstream on us down there, but the straight's not big enough. Maybe if he gets a decent exit, he might have a go. Obviously, we lose the rear end a little bit, got too much onto the curb, and now he's got the slipstream on us, and is he going to have a go? He's going to try around the outside, but we defend quite decently. We got onto the curb a bit too much. Now he's right behind us again, heading down the straight. Hopefully, if we can defend the right position, we're going to defend the racing line. Will he have a go at the inside? No. As we ran as we ran wide, heading down there. So Ricardo bearing down on us. He's looking like the quicker car at the minute, which is not a surprise, but hopefully we can keep defending. It's going to be important to defend against these guys, because once one goes past us, we'll probably start dropping back, and we want this clean air. Now Rosberg's out in front by a bit, we've got clean air, but we are pushing the tyres more than we want because of Ricardo and the guys behind us. Someone has an issue with the car. I think that was Fernando with an issue with his car, and we're pulling out a bit on Ricardo, but I expect him to be right with us again sooner or later. As you can see, we're looking at Kevin Magnussen here behind one of the Manas, and on the radio my team says he had an issue and he's out the race, and as you can see he's had an engine blow. So that means Kevin Magnussen's out, which is a disappointment for the team. We can't back as many points as we want for the constructors, but never mind, we're up in P2, which is better than any of us would have hoped. So yeah, teammate out, but we've got to go, and Sebastian Vettel is now out of the race. So is this another engine issue? Is another engine blow? It looks like it. So 2 engine blows in this race. So it looks like everyone's engines and having a lot of stress as we cut back on board with us. And yeah, so 2 people's engines have gone, which is a shock. Hopefully our engine doesn't go. If our teammates is gone, then maybe ours is in a bit worse condition as well, but hopefully we're gonna keep pushing. So someone else got an issue, couldn't quite hear who that was, but someone else got an issue as we start on lap 6. Now we're still in P2 with Ricardo did pit and Hamilton's behind us, but a lap later I believe we come into the pits as well on this lap to change to the soft tyres. It's on target, this pit stop, so we're not any less or not any more. So I decided to react straight away because lately I've made bad strategy calls and tried to stick it out, and we've lost loads of positions and not been able to gain it back. So we're deciding to react straight away. We didn't decide to go to the undercut. Rosberg is too far away, so we're just deciding to react to the Red Bulls, but it's going to be close coming out the pit lane, and I believe we might still be behind him as we nearly touch the wall. So there's Ricardo. Ricardo's ahead of us, and we've also got Nazar ahead of us. But picking up the slipstream, hopefully we can get past Nazar. We've got a decent run. We're using reach revs. Maybe have a goal with the inside of Ricardo if we can make it. Ricardo leaves us the room. Well done, Ricardo. That was he gave us a lot of room there. So we have stayed ahead of Ricardo as we look at a battle that we've got. 3 of us stand the main straight, and we outbrake them and touch the Mana slightly and make him lose a bit of control of his car, but we're ahead and back into P5 now. As we get a little bit out of shape, we believe we went onto the grass, but we've got Verlon behind us and I believe Ricardo's behind. As interesting call from Rosberg, he's going for the super softs, but I believe he can do that because he's got a nice gap from us and he'll extend that. Don't think we're going to be able to challenge Rosberg, but trying to get our P2 as we've got Harrianto in front of us and Button a lot of car. And interestingly, I haven't been able to catch Button as quickly as I thought, but he's on a fresher tyre than us. And we've got Ricardo coming up at us. We tried to break the slipstream. He's gone up the inside. We're carrying him around the outside. A little bit of contact, and a driver throwing a hand up again. Optimistic move from Ricardo, but we stuck it around the outside. Will he have another go up the inside off this right, and now he decides to stick behind us. We go a bit deep, so he's probably going to get a slab air exit, and he's probably going to get DRS. So we're going to keep an eye on that, heading down the straight. But I believe we skipped a few laps there, so we've not been able to see, as he has another go up the inside. But again, a little bit of contact. I'm not giving up this P2. Gonna try my best not to give it up, but we're pushing our tyres quite bad, and tyre wear as Jeff's asking us for a different strategy call. But I'm going to try and get out for the first call that we had for lap 25. I might come in a lap earlier than lap 25, maybe lap 24. So we tell him that we'll try and stick to lap 25 if possible. But fighting with Ricardo has not helped us. But this is we're fighting for P2, so I'm not too fussed as he has a goal. The inside, it's going to be risky. Does he keep it? He does. Ricardo's past us, but we're going to get DRS for the straight as we lose the rear end slightly. Now we pick up the slipstream, so powerful in this game, and we're straight past him again, and we're also using rich revs. It runs slightly wide, but it's not too much. We got onto the curb and we're still ahead of Ricardo. Coming to the end of lap 17 now. Having a great battle with Ricardo in this race. Very great battling and good driving from both of us. I decided to defend the inside line this time. And we outbrake him, but we just run slightly wider. And now, will he get the better run? It looks like he didn't. And again, we're cutting to the same part of the track as this is. Oh, I believe we're into the pits, and it was a late call for us to come into the pits. I decided. I just wanted to stay out. Ricardo did get ahead of us, so we're going to try and get a little bit closer to him with a set of super softs, and hopefully we'll be closer. But I believe Ricardo has the pace to cover us off no matter what we do. We had about a 3-second gap before we come into the pits, so this is just about 4th place now. Like I said, hopefully we can keep 4th. Got Harrianto ahead of us. Harrianto's having a great race, but we pick up the slipstream. We got Massa behind us. He's also probably picking up the slipstream. So we get past the man over Harrianto and back into P7. Hollow Science ahead in P5. With Vettel and Magnussen out of the race, this is a chance for the Manners, the Tara Russells and the other teams to try and get some points. So I'm surprised to see the Manor up in PA. I wonder if he'll stay there. But lap 25, and we did come out. We are setting a purple sector for that, sector 2. So that's a good sign. So when Ricardo pits, hopefully we'll be a bit closer to him. But we've got Verstappen behind us and the other Red Bull putting pressure on us. He goes to the inside, we push him over as far as we can. We go back to the racing line. And we go around the outside and we just keep it. Maybe track limits there, but he didn't pick us up for track limits. Didn't give us a warning, so I'm guessing that's fine. And as we nearly get onto the grass. And Bottas has actually got faster for Verstappen. So interesting, and we must have run him out wide, or Verstappen must have poor traction. Lap 31, as you can see, Verstappen up the inside of us, and they've now lost P4, but we're going to have a goal. We're going to late braking up the inside, very close. I give him the room on the outside, but he tucks back in, probably trying to get the slipstream on us on the main straight. So heading down into turn 1, we're moving across again back to the racing line that we did before, sticking it around the outside, and we keep him, and I think he's 40 spun there, but he's he's alright and he's carrying on. So I expect him to be back on us within a few turns time, because our tyres have just completely gone. I think they're on like 42% now, so I'm starting to lose grip. But having good fights with the Red Bulls today. So the Renault car getting in front of the Red Bull with the Tag Renault engine, which is good for us with upgrades, because we've got plenty more upgrades to come, and if we can get results like this early on in season 1, then it goes well for season 2. Lap 33, coming towards the end of lap 33, and Verstappen is into the pits. So maybe he lost a bit of front wing and a bit of contact, maybe. But he's into the pits. And it looks like we're clear now for the rest of the race. So P4. We will keep P4 as we skip to the end of the race now. And it looks like we are going to get it. The penultimate corner onto the main straight. The line comes halfway down the straight. Move over to the right, celebrate. And we have finished P4.
My friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend
So I'm actually quite happy with that. And I
Brilliant
think
stuff from
I think it was a
today.
Mercedes one
That's
too.
another historic win. Podium drivers
Yep.
today after that excellent race. They've excelled here as they so
So
often do.
Rosberg
And
from
it's a
Hamilton,
well-deserved
from
victory.
Ricardo.
Mercedes
Could have been
then
us on the
are
podium
top
if we
today.
stuck with Ricardo, but that wasn't to be. As we can see, we finished P4. Did the Manor finish in the points? No, we didn't quite do it, but we stay P6 in the championship with 81 points, I believe that is. So we're not too far behind them. We're in P4 in the constructors, 93 points, 137 behind the championship leaders. But I'm really happy with that, and that was a great race. Had a good battle with two of the Red Bull guys. Back on the laptop, as you can see, we've already brought a downforce upgrade. Just flicking through, having a look. I think, oh no, that's a chassis weight. I think we're gonna buy a downforce one. Did we buy a downforce one? Yeah, go for a downforce one, and yeah, that was a great race today. I enjoyed that. I'll be uploading more career mode videos if I haven't done it for a while. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you later, and peace.